Bruno Fernandes looking for a better payday? Yes, I think he is. He turns 30 very soon, and this is going to be his last big contract. What INEOS is thinking, though, I don't even know if INEOS knows what they're thinking. Think about it. Look how long they take to make decisions. Believe me, I am still sitting here, fingers crossed, going, please INEOS do the right thing. Please INEOS do the right thing. And I get it. We've all been tortured by the Glazers, and we've been waiting for this knight in shine. This will lead to a really bad league. A really bad league. And by the way, this is what pisses me off even more about City fans. City fans are the worst. Hey, welcome back, and we've got a lot to talk about today, so we're going to chop it up pretty quickly. And if you can't keep up or you want to add to the discussion, please comment down below. I read everybody's comments. And the first story I want to touch on is Manchester United hiring a brand new Chief Communications Officer. The man's name is Toby, and he comes to us from Manchester City, and he's supposed to be one of the best around. The other thing is they want him to start his job immediately, so he'll be starting tomorrow. My guess is that there's something vital they want to communicate to the public. Think you can guess what it is. Actually, by the time you watch this video, you probably already have heard whether or not we're keeping Erik ten Hag or not, and maybe you'll even know who his replacement's going to be. I don't, so I will not be talking about that on this video, but hopefully Toby's really good at his job so that when we read the press release, we can all feel nice and warm and fuzzy inside, even if we don't agree with anything INEOS has decided. The news that everybody's been talking about is that Bruno Fernandes' agent has been shopping Bruno around to almost every team who's willing to listen. So Bayern Munich, Barcelona, and now we hear that Al Nassr from Saudi Arabia might also be interested, and they may even be willing to break the bank. This makes it really tough. Is Bruno Fernandes looking for a better payday? Yes, I think he is. He turns 30 very soon, and this is going to be his last big contract. He's going to want to make sure that he's getting every dollar he can so that when he retires, he doesn't have to worry about money and he can take care of his kids and his family. And I totally get it, and you can't disrespect that, and you cannot hold that against a man. 29 years old, athlete, you have to make your bread now. You're not going to make it later. So I get it. I know where he's coming from. I don't know what INEOS is thinking, though. I don't even know if INEOS knows what they're thinking. Think about it. Look how long they take to make decisions. Debates, meetings, all kinds of... I don't know. Do you think they're willing to sell Bruno Fernandes? And if they're willing to sell Bruno Fernandes, that means they better buy a big replacement, because I know the fan uproar is going to be crazy. Is this guy Toby Craig coming in so that he can break two pieces of bad news? We're going to sack Erik ten Hag. A week later, we might sell Bruno Fernandes. Or a month later, probably after the Euros, we're also going to sell Bruno Fernandes. Toby Craig's job is going to be like Mission Impossible. Try to keep the fans on side while INEOS keep doing things that we just do not agree with. Or most of us don't agree with. I shouldn't speak for all of us. Sorry. Don't hate me. Don't at me in the comments. That actually brings me to another point. I've been getting a ton of comments from people who do not agree with me when I say negative things about INEOS. I get it. You want INEOS to be our big hero that saves us from the big bad Glazers. I do too. I just don't believe they are. I hope they are, but the facts don't show it that way. Believe me, I am still sitting here, fingers crossed, going, please INEOS do the right thing. Please INEOS do the right thing. Even if they sack Erik ten Hag, I'm not going to call that the wrong thing, by the way, because it depends on what you're doing it for. It's not just, is Erik ten Hag good or bad? That's not the question. The question is, if we get rid of Erik ten Hag, who comes in? What is better? How do we move forward? Same goes for Bruno Fernandes. Selling Bruno Fernandes isn't a bad decision on its own. But if you sell Bruno Fernandes and you don't bring in a creative player who's going to create opportunities, because he's the only one who does it in our squad, then you made a bad decision. Right? I mean, simple math. Anyway, please don't get at me or comment and say like, oh, INEOS is, you don't know anything. You don't know shit. INEOS might be much better. Not might be. They actually say INEOS will make the right decision. How do you know? You don't know that. And I get it. We've all been tortured by the Glazers, and we've been waiting for this knight in shining armor to come pull us out of the hell we've been in. But I don't know if Sir Jim Ratcliffe is this knight in shining armor. Maybe he is. I don't know. We'll find out. The people in Nice were hoping he was, and they got screwed. In other news, everybody's favorite legend, Sir Alex Ferguson, was seen meeting with Dougie Friedman of Crystal Palace. Now, they've worked together in the past before, so they do kind of know each other and have an existing relationship. So it does make sense to meet. But I will tell you that I'm pretty sure Sir Alex Ferguson is not at that meeting trying to figure out how much they're willing to sell their players for. He's probably there having discussions about players' attitudes, personalities, and work ethic. And I kind of love that. There's a part of me that hopes that's what's going on. And there's a part of me that hopes that we don't buy any players that have an attitude issue or are lazy anymore moving forward. If there's someone we can trust to ask the right questions to get to the root of whether or not somebody has a good attitude or a nice, strong work ethic, it's going to be Sir Alex Ferguson. So I actually have no problems with this. I'm actually interested to see what the outcome of meetings like this lead to. Another piece of news I came across today is that Arsenal is interested in Joao Neves. I think it was from Ben Jacobs. That makes me nervous. I really want Joao Neves for our team. And if we can't get him because he's too expensive, I'm hoping he goes nowhere so that hopefully we'll get him maybe next summer. Because no matter who we get right now, if we're getting somebody on a budget, he's not going to be as good as Joao Neves. So maybe if we're still interested in defensive midfielder next summer, we go after Joao Neves if we can't afford him now. So I really don't want Arsenal to get him. But here's a prediction I'm willing to make. If Arsenal have the guts to pay and get Joao Neves, I really think, barring injuries, Arsenal has a chance to win the whole darn Premier League next season. I know everybody thinks, Man City will probably win 5 in a row. I don't. I think that Arsenal with a Joao Neves makes them crazy good in midfield. Crazy good. If they can also get a left winger so that they're not relying on Martinelli and a striker, if they get Benjamin Sesko, Joao Neves, and I don't know, a left winger, I think Arsenal pulls it off next season. I don't know. What do you guys think? Are you guys hoping for Joao Neves for us? I want either Joao Neves for us or I don't want him to move at all so that maybe we'll go get him next season. Okay, now let's talk about the last story of the day, and it is a big deal. I think more discussion needs to be had. I think there needs to be more emphasis on this because this is a very, very dangerous road we're going down, and I think all the fans need to be having an uproar. This is as dangerous as the Super League was when all the fans got together and started demonstrating. Let me explain why I think Manchester City suing the Premier League for discrimination against the Gulf states is a big deal because they're calling to do away with the APT, which is the Associated Party Rules. And what that means is when a team is getting a sponsor from a company that's associated with the owner of that team, that the league has the right to find out what the fair market value is of that sponsorship deal, and that's all they're allowed to sponsor the team for. Let me break that down for you. 4 of Man City's main sponsors are from the Emirates, which basically means they're under the rule of the man who owns the team. Okay? So, if he wanted to, he can make those 4 companies pay $1 billion each to put their name on the shirt, to put their name on the stadium, to put their name on the damn cards what are they called? The programs when you walk into the stadium. Doesn't matter. The point is he can charge or make them pay a ton of money, which means they can get around FFP easily or any kind of fair play rules easily because they're going to have more sponsorship money than God because they own the companies that are paying that. If they don't own the companies, they at least have some sort of deals with these companies. So basically it does away with FFP. It's like a workaround FFP. It's like, okay, FFP says I can't spend more than I make. Oh, by the way, I make $10 billion for somebody to put their name on my shirt. And if APT didn't exist, you would just have to let that go. That would have to just slide, right? But even with APT rules, they still do that kind of stuff. Do you think whatever Emirates is paying to sponsor Man City, any other team or company, any other company would pay the same amount to sponsor Man City? No, they wouldn't. Or else they would go get it from that company and they would use Emirates to sponsor something else. No, they're already getting more than the fair market value because no one else would pay what these 4 main sponsors are paying to sponsor whatever the hell it is they're sponsoring at Man City. But they want more. They want to be able to go unlimited. They want to be able to go whatever price they want to put on it, right? So they're going to sue for discrimination against Gulf states, and they're going to claim that we don't let Arab Gulf companies pay whatever they were willing to pay. Well, that's just crazy, though. Why would any company in the world at any time pay more for marketing than they would have to get the same marketing? That makes zero sense, right? The only reason why you would do that is because of some sort of illegal activity, some sort of money laundering, some sort of something not with the rules, because no company that's for profit would make a deal for the same thing paying twice the amount that they should be paying. It's just not the way it works. And this is what they're going to try to get away with. And the other issue is, the thing that concerns me is that these guys have amazing lawyers. They have much better lawyers than the Premier League's lawyers. That's for sure. They have priceless lawyers. They can get the best of the best to go argue their case in court. And the law isn't exactly always, let's say, fair. Whoever argues the best case or makes the strongest case in court is the one who usually gets the ruling to go in their favor. That's nerve-wracking. That's nerve-wracking because if the APT rules go away, Manchester United fans, you can forget about it. Because with INEOS and with the Glazers, this is definitely a for-profit company. This is a company that they're trying to cut down expenses and make money with. So you can forget about it. We're not going to... INEOS isn't going to all of a sudden dump $4 billion for us to, like, I don't know, buy players and never break FFP rules. That's never going to happen. So we can just forget about it. Arsenal, you can forget about it too. Liverpool, yeah, forget about it. This is dangerous. This is basically going to lead to a domination by Man City and Newcastle. And the thing I have to say is, so far, I've heard that Newcastle does not want to join the lawsuit. And that, number one, it does surprise me and shock me a little bit, but it's definitely worth applause and just... It's the right thing to do. I think Newcastle understands the importance of competition. And they seem like they want to do it the right way. They want to grow slowly and organically. And they will reach the top. They will reach the very top. One day Newcastle will win the Premier League with these owners. It's definite. But it feels to me like they don't want to disrespect the competition, or else they would just join this lawsuit. And that is interesting to me. But City, on the other hand, is disgusting. What they've already gotten away with the 115 charges, and what they're trying to now get away with in the future is pretty gross. Like, you've already won 6 out of the last 7 Premier Leagues. How much domination do you want? And by the way, if this ruling goes in their favor, I think the 115 charges drop. I don't see how you win a discrimination lawsuit and then lose a 115 charge suit brought to you by the people you just proved are discriminating against you. So nuts and crazy, and we need to all be aware of this. It's starting in about a week from Monday, and it won't be a long trial, but we do need to let everybody know so that the judges and everybody working on these cases know how we actually feel, because this will lead to a really bad league. A really bad league. And by the way, this is what pisses me off even more about City fans. City fans are the worst. I know we all say Arsenal fans are the worst, but Arsenal fans are a little bit out of their mind, neurotic, and just kind of like, I don't know, they live in their own world. You know what I mean? Like, everything they do, they think they're the best team ever. It's okay. Just let Arsenal fans have it. I feel bad for them anyways. City fans, though, are actually the worst. City fans on X or Twitter, ever since Real Madrid won, start posting things like, and you guys claim City's ruining football when Real Madrid's winning all these Champions Leagues and blah, blah, blah. As if they can compare themselves to Real Madrid. It's actually disgusting to see sometimes. To me, City fans are like OnlyFans models who made $1 million with their OnlyFans page and then want the same respect that, like, Bill Gates gets. Your owners suck. Your owners robbed and stole their way to the top. It's okay. If you're a City fan, it's fun to watch your team win. That should be enough. Don't demand that we respect you or your team as much as we respect, say, Real Madrid. leave them out of it, leave everyone else out of it. Just watch your team win and keep your mouth shut, yeah? You got away with a bank robbery, maybe. I think you are going to get away with a bank robbery. It's okay. You don't start flashing the money around and start acting like you should, get the same respect as a Bill Gates or someone who actually worked for their living. Just enjoy it and piss off. That's it for today. We covered a lot of things really quickly. If you wish I said something that I didn't say or I didn't cover something I should have covered, leave it in the comments and I will do a better job next time. Thank you for being with me. Please consider dropping a like or subscribe if you're here. I actually am trying to get my subscriber count up, so help me out. And I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye.